Happy Halloween, everyone.
Quack, quack. Ah, right, take it off. You really into town with the Halloween costumes this year, didn't you? Stared no extents? Oh, listen, it was a last minute decision. We weren't even going to do Halloween. Well, good night is there not. Listen, we watched a couple of classic TV episodes based on Halloween. Let's get into them. So it's a special Halloween double bill, and today we watched Garfield's Halloween Adventure from 1985, the last roughly 25 minutes. Yep, and it's the first time that I've seen this Garfield character. What's the deal? Does he talk? No, I think we hear his thoughts, and you share? I think so. That guy, who? The guy in it? The guy, John. Yeah, he seems to know what he's thinking. Yeah, I don't think he knows what he's saying. I think he just kind of guesses from context what's going on. It's weird. It is a bit weird. Anyway, we open with Garfield in bed. He's woken up by some noise from the TV. It's Binky the Clown. Yeah, this psychotic clown who's like Joe X. What do you mean he's like Joe X? He's like, get up, exercise, come on, be fit. Don't disappoint me. I suppose he is. Yeah, he's like, you need to get fit because tonight's Halloween and you need to go out and get candy. Yeah, Garfield's about to turn off the TV and then he hears he can get candy tonight because it's Halloween. So he gets up and he thinks, oh, I've got to get ready. It's Halloween night. Yeah, and then they got a little song, trick or treat, snare my feet. Yeah, he doesn't say that. But it is a song called Trick or Treat and it's the opening titles of the episode. Yeah, quite gravy. Yeah, Garfield's dancing away to it. So was I. So Garfield goes to the kitchen where he meets John. Yeah, he's a human. He's like his owner. Yeah, if you can own a pet, I guess John is Garfield's owner. There's also a dog. Yeah, what's the dog's name? Odie. Right. And why doesn't he speak? I don't know. Garfield always goes on about Odie being a bit slow, a bit dumb, really. Yeah. Poor Odie. Yeah, it's a shame. But anyway, they're in the kitchen, and because it's Halloween, and for no other reason, John is wearing a pumpkin on his head. And then Odie takes it off him. Yeah. And he puts it on. Yeah. And then John gives Garfield some breakfast. Yeah, right, Garfield's a cat, okay? Just a cat. And John thinks, I'll give him croissants, or croissants if you're American. He says, I'll give him some candy rolls, I'll give him some bacon, and I'll give him some coffee. Yeah, it's a bit of a strange breakfast for a cat. Don't give your cat human food, especially not coffee. I'm calling the RSTCA. Garfield says to Odie, hey, you wouldn't even need a costume because you're odd looking enough. People would just throw you candy. Yeah, but then that makes him think, actually, I'll take Odie trick-or-treating because I'll get twice as much candy that way. Yeah, he does. So then we get a little montage of Garfield and Odie trying on costumes. Yeah, there's vampires and it's all to a little song. That's fine. Yeah, and they settle on pirates. Yeah, they're both little pirates. Garfield's got a wooden sword and Odie's got, I don't know, a bandana. They're pretty cool. Yeah, it's nice. John sees his pets, a cat and a dog, dressed up as pirates, and he says, here's a little bag each. Off you go, sends them out into town to go trick-or-treating. Yeah, it's a cat and a dog, Nate. You need locked up. Well, I mean, it's a cartoon. Yeah, they're not talking cats or dogs or anything. They're just cats and dogs, and this guy's like, soon you can go trick-or-treating. It's weird. Well, regardless, Odie and Garfield head out and they're going around the doors and they're saying, well, nothing because they're animals, but they're holding out their sacks and they're holding out their Halloween sacks and people are throwing in candy. So they fill their bags and then they're heading home and then Garfield thinks, wait a minute, if we cross over the river from this town into the next town, we can get even more candy. Yeah, because he's greedy. So they just take a boat. Is it theirs? No, it's just a boat sitting by the river. They decide, let's get in it, and they start to go across the river. But they get hopelessly lost because they're a cat and a dog. Yeah, well, they get hopelessly lost anyway, and they're sailing along for what seems like hours. But they see something in the distance. It's land, so they head towards it, and they row ashore, and they have landed by a big spooky house. Yeah, it's creepy. So they decide to go up to it. They don't chat the door, they don't ring the doorbell, they just say, let's break in. Yeah, Garfield says, let's just go inside. I'll kick the door down. Yeah, he tries, but he's too weak, and the door's too strong, it's too heavy. So he says, actually, let's just sneak in quietly. So they do, they just enter this house that doesn't belong to them. It seems like it's an empty house though. Garfield says, I mean, whenever I say Garfield says, it's his thoughts we're hearing. Anyone inside the actual episode is just seeing a cat looking around. Yeah. But anyway, they're taking a look around the house. They think it's empty. They settle down in the living room, and then they turn around and there's an old man sitting in a chair. Dun, 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 dun. And this old man begins to speak to them. And he's this really old man, and he's got the deepest voice ever. He sounds like Darth Vader. He does actually sound like James Earl Jones. And he says, listen, there are tyrant ghosts in this house. They're coming to get their treasure tonight. So Garfield and Odie are a bit scared. They say, okay, we'll just leave. And then they turn around to say to the old guy, do you want to come with us? And he's gone. He's vanished. It's sticky. And then, just as they're about to leave, the tyrant ghosts appear. Uh-oh. So Garfield and Odie hide, and they hide in a little closet, and the tyrant ghosts come in, and they're looking for their treasure, which they buried hundreds of years ago. I don't know why, they can't stand it now. Well, that's true. You get ID? No, I'm a ghost. Right, well anyway, they come and get their treasure. Garfield and Odie are found hiding. Yeah, so they run off. The tyrant ghosts don't really bother them, they just sort of go, ooh. But then Odie and Garfield run off and they fall into the river. Garfield can't swim, so he's a goner. He's not a goner. It looks like he is though, because he floats upside down and then he goes under the water and then his pirate hat floats to the top. But luckily, Odie, who has been slagging off the whole time, saves his life. He does. So he drags them to shore. They're back on their own side of town, and the boat has made its way back to that side of town. So they grab their bags of candy and they say, let's go home. We've had enough adventure for one night. Back at home, Garfield says, well, Odie, you've saved my life about 1 billion times tonight. He actually says that. Yeah, and I think I should give you something that's very close to me, very personal to me, something I really treasure. And he gives him his own half of the candy. Garfield's own half? No, he gives Odie's own half of the candy because he's planning just to keep it for himself. What a greedy cat. He is. So, Garfield gets into bed. He thinks, right, before bed, I'll quickly watch something on TV. He switches something on TV, and guess what's on TV? Dinky the Clown! No, not Dinky the Clown. It is the old man from the house with a deep voice, and he says, tonight's tale of terror, or something like that. Yeah, and Garfield goes, oh no, actually, I'm just tired, I'll just go to sleep, switches off the TV, and goes to sleep. The end. So Garfield's Halloween adventure. What did you think? Well, I don't know what it is. I don't know anything about this cat, or this dog, or this nan who lives with them. Well, just a bit weird. You think so? Not really like it? It's okay. I wouldn't say don't watch it, I'll just say, you know, don't expect much. Fair enough. On to the next thing we watched today for Halloween. Why have you put that back on? Come on. It's Halloween. I'm the Halloween chick. I thought you were a duck. Duck, chick, whatever. Okay. Next up we watched Halloween as Grinch Night. Yeah, the Grinch, you remember him from Christmas? The Grinch who saved Christmas or something. This hat doesn't fit. It's okay. You can keep on or you can take off. It's up to you. It's fine. Okay. Well, Halloween as Grinch Night is from 1977 and it lasts roughly 25 minutes. Yeah, it's hard to tell because we watched it on YouTube And when we watched it, it had original adverts from 1977. Yeah, that was actually quite cool to see. Yeah, you're confused though. I was confused because before, during, and after the Grinch, Halloween is Grinch Night, there were TV commercials from 1977. So there were old American commercials for McDonald's. There was a commercial for Orchard Farm lemonade. There was a commercial for this stuff called Diet Right Cola. Yeah. There was cereal commercials and toy commercials, something for a robot. Yeah, this toy robot called Rom, which looked like it was a pretty big deal back in 1977. Commercials for TV shows such as 240 Robert and Happy Days. Yeah, and then you're confused. Yeah, because it done the advert for all these things, and then the next advert was for a Google Pixel, a brand new phone. In 1977, he thought. I was just confused for a second. It went on to the actual YouTube adverts. Okay, I didn't realise. You're so done. So the Halloween is Grinch Night, right? Have you ever seen the Grinch? The cartoon? The Grinch Who Ate Christmas, or whatever it's called. Yeah, I don't know what it's called. The Grinch Who Saved Christmas, or the Grinch Who Ruined Christmas, or the Grinch. I don't know. But you're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. That one. Yeah. Well, this is obviously a follow-up to that. Yeah, and it's total rubbish. Well, I don't know about that. It is. And also, the animation is terrible. The animation's not great, I'll be honest. It's rubbish. Okay, well, let's calm down. We open with some scenes in Whoville. People, well, Who's are going about their business. Yeah, and overlooking Whoville is Ninth Crantic, the horn of the Grinch. But surely, it's all good, because at Christmas his heart grew 3 sizes that day. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but now, apparently, everyone's scared of him again, and everyone has shunned him just like before. Yeah, it's a bit strange. And we know this because the wind rises in Whoville, and it's a sour sweet wind. Yeah, they can all smell it. They're all sniffing it like weirdos. But they know this sour sweet wind means the Grinch will awaken. Yeah, because apparently he's like in a coma. He's not in a coma, he's just asleep. But when the wind blows, it disturbs these horrible little creatures in trees, and they start yelping. And when they start yelping, it disturbs the waters. And when the waters are disturbed, it disturbs these sea monsters. Yeah, they're like Loch Ness monsters. Yeah, they're like that. And they wake up and they start howling and yelling. And that wakes up the Grinch. Yeah, it's a whole chain of events caused by the sour sweet wind. It's weird. It's a bit convoluted. Well, it's just, it's just fun. Nope. So all the Who's go into lockdown, and they sing a song about going into lockdown. Get your kids inside. Yeah, it's not that song. No, I can't remember the song, but they're singing a little song about getting all the kids inside. I wouldn't go out there for $1.50. Yeah. What? It's just the song they sing. So then we see the Grinch. He awakens. He looks out from Mount Trumpet and he says, "Oh, I'm going to get all my scariest stuff together and go down to Whoville and create havoc." Yeah, so he gets his dog, who looks like it's 80 years old, and it's called Max, and he makes his dog carry a load. Well, he ties his dog to the front of basically the sleigh from the Christmas episode. Ties his dog to the front, loads up his cart or his sleigh with all this scary stuff, and then sits on top of it and gets his whip out and starts whipping Max and saying, "Let's go to Whoville." Yeah, again, because that worked out there last time. And this journey down the 19th from Night Crantic, it's half the episode. It's just him and the dog travelling down a hill, and occasionally you'll meet a little monster and scare it away. I don't think they're monsters. They're either Who's or they're little animals. Yeah, whatever it is, he scares them away. And it's half the episode. Takes ages. Now, one of the Whoville children, Euchariah, he decides he's going to go outside. He's not scared. He's bored of sitting in the house waiting around for nothing to happen. So he goes outside. Yeah. Bit of discipline, who, Terence? Euchariah finds himself in the woods just outside Whoville and he meets the Grinch. Yeah. So the Grinch is like, get out of my way, kid. And Euchariah says, are you the real Grinch? And the Grinch is so offended by this. But Euchariah says, I've got astigmatism, and he takes off his glasses and says, it's hard to see you without my glasses. I just couldn't tell if you're the real Grinch or not. So he scares them off anyway. The Grinch says, get out of here, kid. Yeah, so Euchariah runs off. But then Euchariah realises that the Grinch is headed to Whoville to create chaos. Yeah, Halloween havoc. Yeah, so Euchariah thinks I have to stop him. So he keeps running around in circles and he keeps coming out of little bits in the wood right in front of the Grinch and distracting him and delaying him. And eventually the Grinch gets tired of this and says, come here, come closer. So Euchariah climbs up in the cart. Yeah, and then the Grinch drugs him. What do you mean he drugs him? He doesn't drug him. He doesn't. He opens a hatch on his sleigh, right? And all this green gas or something comes out. What? Oh yeah, I don't know if it's a green cloud or it's a monster. It's hard to tell with this animation. Yeah, but after that we see a spooky song and dance sequence. Yeah, well, it's only Euchariah that can see it. And he's suddenly in a wide open space being chased by ghosts and demons and goblins and giants trying to step on him and all these sticky things happening. He's tripping, man. Actually, it does seem quite hallucinogenic for old Euchariah. Yep, the countdown's gonna be horrible. But Euchariah sees it through to the end. He doesn't run off, he doesn't try and hide. He's brave and he stands and he just puts up with this horrible musical number. And at the end of it, the Grinch is like, oh, you're quite brave. And Euchariah figures out a way to send the Grinch packing. He points out to him, look, the wind has died down. So those horrible little creatures in the tree won't be singing. The river won't be disturbed. The sea monsters won't awaken. So you can go back to sleep. And that's it. And the Grinch says, okay then, and heads home. That's all it takes. Now the wind's died down. The Grinch seems to have lost his appetite for mischief. He seems to have lost his bad temper. He seems to have lost his mind. And then Euchariah heads home. The whole town come out to greet him and they all sing a song. Yeah, what a lot of nonsense. This is possibly the laziest thing I've ever seen. It's not great, but it's of its time. No. When was the Grinch made? Alexa, when was The Grinch Who Stole Christmas released? 1957. 20 years before this. This is just laziness. Cashing in on a cool character like the Grinch and then ruining it. Having said that, if you look around Facebook or anything like that, you'll see a million people saying, I'll send the Grinch to your home this Christmas, and it's some guy with green face paint who'll come and kick your Christmas tree. So, don't be fooled, people. So you won't watch this again? Definitely not. Okay, well listen, I think that's enough. Make sure you have fun at Halloween, make sure you stay safe, and we'll see you next time. Wise Nancy. It's only me. Bye.